Yeah, I mean, that was the key thing when we started having conversations as well, is that, there was a want from you specifically, wanting to be able to stay connected with the comic book community, and you being like, the business owner you are, the entrepreneur you were like, I could bring in, five people, three people from that have marketing experience across the board. I could bring in people who have this experience across
Right.
the board. Or I could bring in the community because they know, and they know the nitty gritty, and they know the tea within the community, and they know, what it's like. And, a lot of like the stuff that's happened the past few months has even affected me as a creator. I'm part of that big boat of everyone who's been
Yeah.
affected. And
Right.
I kind of cherish that as well because, I've been in various management positions. I've done so much, and I've always like starting from the bottom as a grunt to kind of like work my way up, because then you get to really see what they're going through. And when you
Yeah.
understand what they're going through and you make big decisions up top, you make them with like the confidence of being like, I know that sucked. Like, I know how
Yeah.
hard that was,
Right. Right.
to
Yeah.
work on it together. I don't want to, nobody wants to leave anyone
Yeah.
sinking. So we
Yeah.
kind of encourage that. And so we could really speak to our customer better than any other printing company can actually speak towards as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've worked with so many marketing teams and like they're, majority of them is like part of the goal for marketing is to really find the most relatability and relatable like way of mannerisms and the way that tone and all that stuff as your target audience or your customer. And it's like
Mhm.
with us, yeah, and I've always thought this in my head, like, yeah, when it comes to like something so like creative like this, yeah, I mean, there is no, you'll see our competitors like they'll just basically be throwing out a ton of ads that your generic stuff like quality printing and social proofing and stuff like that, which is good in marketing, but like I always thought like it'd be best to like have the infrastructural team be the customer, and so they can literally naturally, they don't have to go do research, they can naturally start speaking about problem solutions from a perspective of both the business but also more importantly from the customer standpoint, the
Yep.
creator. So I think that's what we're doing very well. It's just now it's just a matter of like putting the muscle behind the people that are pushing it.
Mhm.
So yeah, it is interesting though. It's an interesting take. As you said, like I had that opportunity to figure out if I'm going to rebuild this team, I could hire a bunch of pros out there, quote unquote, and they'd come in and do their thing. And I mean, would that make us any different? It would,
I mean,
it
what's
wouldn't.
better, passion or experience?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because the
And
passion's
from
going
my
to get us all to
experience,
learn.
yeah, and from my experience, it's all about passion, especially now. I mean, everyone could have there's so many people that have experience and everyone knows ABC to marketing, but
Mhm.
and branding and business and stuff. But when you get like the people who actually like really care like super deeply about the content itself, uh I think it's easier to teach them the tactics and the
Mhm.
the blueprints rather than vice versa. Try to teach someone how to love something rather than, you know. So that's kind of where we're at. I mean, we got the love, the passion and stuff. Now it's just really just putting the tactics and uh, the things to work that have to work in terms of business and scalability and stuff like that.
Because comics also, like, you're not only just learning, a new side of business. It's not just e-commerce, and it's just not just marketing. It's like we're making comic books, and actually, comic books are really difficult to make. The more you
Oh,
start, like,
well,
at first it's just like,
manufacturing. I mean,
yeah.
manufacturing's hard, and there is never a scenario where manufacturing is 100% perfect.
Hmm.
Like every manufacturer, there's a lot. First off, there's a lot of overhead, a lot of liability, a lot of room for error, especially when it's multi-part, like something like a premium comic book that has foil and UV gloss and everything added creates another opportunity for error.
Hmm.
So like, yeah, it's definitely the big part about it is yeah, that we are manufacturing and that is challenging. It's so challenging, especially, and I tell this to my, the partners at Carta, like, especially our product, what we do for creators, like they're reselling it. And I've always said this to everyone. I think I even told you, like, and you knew this, like, it's just, I look at us as a B2B. I definitely don't
Yeah.
look at us as a direct to consumer. I mean, so like I want to treat our customers like businesses. I mean, that
Mhm.
means the product that we deliver to them, they got to resell, obviously. So like every single little detail matters. And that should be baked into our given, right? Like that's a given. Like
Mhm.
but now we're at the point where it's like, yeah, but we're in manufacturing. So getting everything to look perfect all the time is definitely a Rubik's Cube. And we're definitely working on it. And we're good at it, but also trying to mitigate waste. I mean, that was
Yeah.
one thing I think our community should know. Like,
Your comic books to life and print your comics with Comix Wellspring.